What is up, everybody? This is Podcast Gameoverse, episode 046, Saturday, October 17th. It is me, Wasabi Ice Cream, back at it again, giving you another one. The only podcast in the world that answers your questions. I'm here with Rick, as always.
Yo, what up? That's it. Only podcast in the world that answers your questions. No other podcast does it.
Only one.
Yeah, other podcasts. I've seen another podcast ask you questions, but nobody's ever answered your questions.
That's crazy. A Gameoverse thing. Maybe we should combine our forces with the question asking podcast.
We'll get right on it. I'll have my people talk to their people. Jesus Christ. Oh, man. This is, God, we've been doing this for a minute. Not a slow news week, but we've both been playing a lot of games, man. You so more than me because I'm married, so I don't have time to play games no more. Yeah. But what have you been doing, man? What have you been playing?
Okay, so I championed through Final Fantasy VII Remake.
All right.
Just barreled through the rest of that game.
Yeah, I saw that in the podcast.
Boy, this game requires some discussion.
I heard it's really meta with the way it handles its story.
Yeah,
like,
I don't want to
directly references like the older.
I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, it does some things that I'm like, because I'm not completely familiar. Like, I don't remember everything that happens in that original game.
Yeah,
but like I know most of it.
Yeah.
So like there's things that happen in this one that I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck? Now there's points where they directly, because you know they fill in a lot of the spots where the original didn't really have much to say.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. I really like that they did that in this game, because the original game is it just kind of just goes, and you're like, you don't really get a feeling of what's actually happening in the world or how everyone feels about certain things.
Yeah.
So I like that they pay extra close attention to like Tifa is more of like, you know, she's the member of like this anti Shinra group called Avalanche, and Barrett's like the leader, and he's more of a radical. Like, he's more like by any means necessary kind of guy.
Yeah.
And Tifa's more, you know, she's more light. She's more like, but she's more like, I don't know how I feel about this, or it's our fault. Like, she blames herself, where Barrett blames Shinra, like the mega corporation, for everything that's happening.
Yeah.
And you don't really get a feel for that in the original, but in this, they spend a lot more time just on those characters, and I think it pays off.
See, that's one thing I really liked about the remake, because a lot of people were pissed because they're like, "Oh, it's not the whole game. I'm only going to play the first part of it." But like, they do so much more than just dropping you in that part of the game. Like, they add a bunch of stuff to it. They characterize everybody a little bit better. It's a full game, even though it takes place in that small section of the original. They expanded on to the point where it is a full game.
Yeah, and it's kind of a double-edged sword, because look, man, that original this part of the game in the original was about like 6 hours.
Yeah.
This in its entirety is about 30 to 40, depending on, you know, how fast you go.
Yeah.
And it's padded out a lot. There's a lot of parts in this that are like, do we really need this? I mean, like, they really pad out a lot of this game, and you feel it.
Like, I was gonna say, like, that's gonna be my next question. Like, if you feel the padding.
Or yeah. There were parts where I was like, I gotta like take a nap here, man, because this is super slow and boring, and nothing's happening, and I'm not sure if they actually needed this.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a double-edged sword in that way. Like, I feel like a lot of parts they did need to extend out, because it just complemented that story. But then other parts were just like, you didn't need this. You really didn't need this. Especially just the dungeons. Like, the dungeons are super long. I mean, the original, a lot of the dungeon sections were just one screen and that was it. But in this, it's just like several hours worth of dungeon, and it's like, man, this is really dragging on. But the combat is another thing that I'm not sure I'm totally sold on because okay,
Yeah.
so again, I'm gonna compare this to the original a lot because I feel like they tried to take things that were in the original and kind of put it in here, like kind of in the same exact way, but it doesn't really work. So the materia, the materia, they're like these pieces of magic that you slot into your weapons and armor, and they give
Yeah.
you new abilities,
Yeah.
and you can level them up. So as long as you have them equipped, they have their own level, and they can level up. But there's not enough like tactical reason to use like 90% of what you find in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Like if I'm playing a real RPG, like a real RPG, I'm the kind of guy that likes to focus and build my characters like, okay, this is my support character, this is my tank, this is my healer, this is my DPS guy, this is my mage. Like I like to have classes, like a class system. And this you can't really do that because of that materia. The materia you only get a certain amount, or you can just keep like buy them and you slot them into your each character's equipment. Now you're not going to have the same characters throughout every section of this game, so your healer, you might just not have that character in certain parts. Like Cloud's really the only one you have the whole way through, but you don't even have him sometimes. Sometimes it switches you to like other characters and you just play as them for a while. And that made it super fucking frustrating because there's no easy way to just the menus suck basically.
Yeah.
There's no easy way to just slot that stuff in and out and say, okay, here's the build I want for this. Because everything keeps shuffling around and it's just like, so at a point I just fucking gave up. I was just like, okay, whatever I have, I'm just going to throw this on and I'm not going to worry about it. And that's just what I'm going to have. And it just made it like playing tactically, it made it super difficult. Like,
And it's frustrating because like the easiest way to fix that would be to have like I don't know, like a save system, so you could save like a loadout. You know, you could save
yeah,
specific loadouts for each character. Like that sounds like a really easy fix for such an annoying problem.
yeah. And, you know, they have this like cross between action combat and turn-based stuff where you can swing your sword as much as you want, but to do any like use any abilities or use any magic, you have to wait for your ATB meter to fill.
Yeah,
And that's annoying because you can't do anything until you have an ATB meter. And if you're swinging your sword at stuff, you can kill stuff before you ever have an ATB. So if you wanted to like scan an enemy, like if you wanted to scan an enemy to get their like data to see what they're weak to, you often could kill an enemy before you got a chance to even scan it, which which was happening to me a lot. Or the game's super linear. Actually, it's entirely linear. Like it never, the original game never opens up until where this game ends is where it would open up. So it's entirely linear the entire way through. There are like side quests you can do, but it's all just like they're all sectioned off.
point A to
Like,
point B.
yeah, yeah. So that's another reason why it just doesn't make sense. It's not long enough for you because, like I said, you can level up all your materia, but it's not long enough for you to really focus in and hone in on the stuff you want to actually level up. It's not tactical enough to really use, like, because there's materia that's like straight like debuff materia. Like you can say cast slow on this guy or cast like remove his like status effects or and stuff like that. But I just it's not beneficial enough to focus on that when you can just focus on like just doing damage and just getting it done. It was a real weird thing when I noticed that because the game I would closest compare this to is Final Fantasy 13, where you did have that class system of where it was like, yeah, this is my magic guy, this is my DPS, this is my tank. They had that class system, and they also had an ATB where you had to wait and charge your moves up and then use them. And it was that game was also super linear. I just don't think this is long enough to where you can like focus on that stuff. And it's a
Yeah.
long ass game, but it's just like super linear. It's it's hard to explain really because there's a lot of things going on. And it's a fantastic game, fantastic game. Enjoyed it all the way through, but there were like story sections where I was like, what the fuck is happening here? Like I don't remember this from the original. This doesn't really make sense. And there's a reason for that, but I'm not gonna. It's very spoilery.
Yeah,
So
I heard like that's the big thing is like the end of it is when things start to make sense and there's like an epiphany.
no.
Well, so to an extent, like
That's where it doesn't
I
make
know.
sense, but then
Well,
you
basically,
realize
I
why
know.
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah,
what I mean.
yeah.
Like I've watched a lot of that because I played the original too, and even though I've never finished it, like I know the whole story just from the zeitgeist of the internet. Like I know Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Um, and I from what I've seen, I think it's really clever what they did with the game. Like it's really a meta, like tongue in cheek kind of like elbow nod, like but it's not annoying about it. Like it's actually a really clever way of subverting expectations. Which I want to be. It's hard to be vague about this, but
It
if you
wasn't
play,
annoying. It wasn't annoying until the end, where they made it
really,
blatantly obvious what they were doing, and I was like, but I was confused as fuck at the same time. I was like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like this doesn't make any sense at all. And then it wasn't until I looked it up and that confirmed it, and I was like, oh, okay, that's dumb, but like it's exciting at the same time, but it's dumb that they did it that way. But um,
I mean,
I'm
I bet it's got you excited for the next one though.
yeah, but I'm convinced that there will never be a next one. So like I don't see how they're gonna continue this, but that's just me. Um, because they're gonna have to do one of those things where they're gonna have to explain why I'm level one again, or uh, I don't know, like make your save come over. Like by the end of this game, I keep saying like you can level up your materia and shit. By the end of this game, most of your good shit is gonna be leveled like max level. Like your fire is gonna be max level, your ice is gonna be like max level, your I mean, you can even like max out your character. Like you can get to, well, I think it's like level 50 is max level, but
I'm sure there's ways to do it. Because another game that was similar was like the dot hack games. Like those are split up into three parts, and your levels carried over from game to game. And that was like what 2005, 2003.
yeah,
So I don't see any reason why this wouldn't work. And to a lesser extent, like Mass Effect, your level didn't carry over from 1 to 2, but it did carry over from 2 to 3. And even if you were maxed out, like they added more levels, more skill trees, more stuff to fuck around with, and your one for one, your abilities and stats directly carried over. So it's
yeah.
not impossible, but
I'm not sure how they're gonna do it. I mean, at the pace
yeah.
they're going, that original game is 3 discs long. At the pace they're going with this, I'm thinking 12 parts, like at the minimum, because it's just there's no way they turn a 6-hour section of the original into a 40-hour game. Uh, I mean, it's impressive, but they I don't know, like they're gonna have to like speed it up or something, because but also like this is such an undertaking that I just don't know if they're gonna like focus. They would have to focus solely on this, or just drag it out for the next like 5-6 years, like they have been. Remember when
Yeah.
this game was announced was when the PS3 was announced, I think.
Well, yes and no. When the PS3 was announced, they showed off like a tech demo. And it's like, oh, here's what Final Fantasy VII would look like on the PS3. And everyone's like, Final Fantasy VII Remake? And they're like, no. It's just a tech demo. And then that's what kind of started the fire here.
Yeah.
But this was announced, I think, when the PS4 got announced, wasn't it? They were working on it.
Maybe it was PS4, yeah.
And that was like that did take forever. But I've seen some developer stuff. A big chunk of it was like starting over with the engine because they were running on the Luminous engine, the Final Fantasy 15 engine, but that sucked dick. So they went to Unreal like halfway through development.
Yeah. Actually, they should have stuck with the Luminous engine. Luminous engine is actually really good.
Yeah, it's not bad. The problem was that they had such a hard time like developing for it. Like that's why Final Fantasy 15 feels so like unfinished. At least it did day one because it was.
Well, it didn't feel unfinished because of the engine. It felt unfinished because of like the story and like.
Well, what I mean is like they had such a hard time like developing for the engine. They had to cut out a lot of stuff, and they kind of just Frankenstein a monster together of like what they had left over with what they could accomplish to meet the deadline. It's a stupid way to release a game.
And I will say, like, this game,
like a year later, it still feels really hollow. Like even a year later,
this game, like, graphically looks great, but if you start like putting your face into the textures and like licking the walls and shit, there's some really extremely bad texture work in this game, dude. Like, super bad. I'm talking bad, dude. Like the character models, they put the time in where they needed to put the time in, and fucking said fuck it to everything else. The textures are extremely bad in this game. It's bad. like walls and doors and fences and floors and anything with a texture that's not a character looks bad.
Oh, it's so frustrating.
Yeah, like you can tell, like it looks good from a distance, but like there's just like stuff that you interact with like over and over again, and you look at it and you're like, man, this looks bad. But it's a great game though. Soundtrack phenomenal soundtrack. I keep telling myself that I need to get that soundtrack because it's great.
I'll definitely pick it up. It's on my list. I know that's like my catchphrase every fucking time we do an episode, but it is on my list. Like I'm married, goddammit. Give me a minute. I take a lot of things. But it does look good. Like I've wanted to play it for a very long time. Even like my dad, he's like adamantly like Final Fantasy sucks now that it's not turn based. Even he liked it, so maybe I should check it out.
Yeah, it's worth checking out, especially like I mean it satisfies both sides, even if you're a fan or if you're not a fan coming in new. It satisfies like
yeah.
I will say you'd probably be more satisfied coming in new than you would if you were like die hard on it. I mean, there's a lot of fan servicey moments, like a lot of the shots, a lot of the camera angles and the shots in the original, they recreate in this.
Yeah.
And it's like fucking awesome. Like the music's all nostalgic and they just remixed everything.
That's really good.
There's like 12 different versions of like that combat theme.
That's really good.
They just like mix and match and like blend it in like crazy different ways. It's really cool. It's really cool. But man, like there's choices they made with the story is like super confusing. Yeah. Anyway,
that's the Final Fantasy VII hour.
yeah.
Anything else?
Says, would you buy for 60? I did. I bought it for 60, didn't I? I don't know. I think I got it on a discount. It was a discount like a couple weeks ago, and I don't know, 40 or something.
I mean, if it's worth anything, GameStop is having their like pro day sale, and that the game's like $40 right now new. So if you want to get a physical copy, you can get it for $40 right now.
It's worth it. I would actually say it's probably one of my favorite games of the year. Despite some of the issues I have with it, it's a great game.
There you go, guys. It's got the Wasabi seal of approval. Go check it out. Anything else you've been playing, man? I know you've been playing quite a bit.
Yeah, I also got that Star Wars Squadrons.
Oh, I did see that. I want to know what you thought of it.
So let me just start by saying, I'm not a Star Wars fan. I've never played those old Star Wars like X-Wing, TIE Fighter, Squadron games. Like I've no affinity towards any of that shit.
Yep.
I don't think I like this game. But everyone else on the planet seems to be absolutely in love with this game. And I don't see it. I don't see it at all, man.
What's your beef with it? Like, what specifically is holding that game back?
So, okay, the first time I saw this game, I was like, man, this looks good, but it looks like a Disney ride. It looks like you're just sat in one place and just shit's happening around you. And that's fucking exactly what the game is. That is exactly what the game is. Like you go from like, and it's great. It's great at what it does. Like the dogfights are a lot of fun, right? But there's just it does one thing very well, and that's it. And I don't know. I was kind of wanting more.
I mean, the game. Just to play devil's advocate here, the game didn't come out for a full 60, right? It dropped at a 40.
It's 40, and I think that's still too much.
Really? Wow.
Like, okay, so it goes from like you're in the cockpit doing cockpit stuff, very cool. Explosions, and you're in a TIE fighter, and it's super like claustrophobic because there's no windows on the thing. And you're in an X-wing, and it's awesome. You're shooting down TIEs and Republic and shit like that. Mm-hmm. Great. I don't know Star Wars terminology, so I was just
that's fine. If I corrected everything you said, we'd be here all day. So just continue.
The dogfighting ship stuff, very cool. You're diverting power to your like thrusters and your engine and your shields, and you're managing your power and speed and stuff like that. And you can do like Tokyo drifting and shit like that. Very cool. You're trying to like outmaneuver people. I went online and it defaults to open mic, so people just have their mics just blasting bullshit and they don't even know about it. You tell them to shut the fuck up. You got to mute everybody in the lobby because I don't know, for some reason games now are just defaulting to, they don't default to push to talk, so everyone's mic is just hot. But then after like every mission, you go back to like your big ship, the main ship. Yeah. And let me see if I can like seek to it in this video here. It's a game that you can tell is just made for VR, but even VR, it lets you like fucking walk around and touch and like interact with shit. This game, you just fucking stand in one spot and just fucking, you're just on a swivel, like just rotating around. You don't move. You don't fucking touch anything. You don't do anything. You just...
Oh, that's annoying.
Everyone just walks up to you and talks at you and says, hey, go get your next briefing, asshole. And then you go get your briefing, and then that's it. And then you go back to your mission, and you're in the cockpit again. You're like, you don't do anything.
So funny. It's so funny you bring that up because, like, Half-Life 2, I think, like, mastered, like, first person, not really cutscenes, but cutscenes you're kind of involved with. And it's funny that game did that like 10 years ago, but this one's like so blatantly like a slideshow about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, in Half-Life, people like look at you, like they comment on what you're doing, but with this, it seems like it's just okay. Sit here, watch this. Move over here. Sit here, watch this.
Yeah. Like, and that's what I was confused about. And everyone was like, Purple Nuggets here. What's up? Guys, we do this live every Saturday, twitch.tv/Gameoverse. Gameoverse.com, actually. Set up the website real nice. You go to Gameoverse.com, everything's there. Gameoverse.com/podcast. There's a button you can hit to send us an email, and we'll read it live. Check it out. But, yeah, back to Star Wars. People were saying like, oh no, they just made it for VR. But I'm like, No. VR, like 5 years ago, maybe. VR today is so much more than just fucking standing around and having people talk at me. Like, even for VR, this is fucking bare bones and not satisfying at all.
This is giving me like, you remember that Batman VR that came out where you're just sitting there like watching Batman shit happen at you? Like, this is
Yeah,
what it reminds me of.
this is like super early VR shit. Like we've gotten way past. Like Half-Life Alyx came out this year, dude, and that's the definitive fucking VR experience. This doesn't come anywhere near there. Like you can't move, you can't touch anything. If I'm in VR, I want to pick shit up and like throw it at people, and this is just not. This is just not it, man. But I'm like the outlier because everyone's giving this game nines and tens and shit, and I'm like, I don't see it, guys. I just don't see it. Peter Parker's new face said EA's just phoning it in at this point. They got a win with Jedi Fallen Order, but didn't want to actually put the work in a proper VR game. That's how I feel. I actually feel the same way, but I don't know. The general consensus on this game is, oh, it's a 9, it's a 10, guys. Buy this now. They knocked it out of the park, and I don't see it at all. So
I think the problem is that a lot of Star Wars fans are like just so. A lot of Star Wars fans are just dying to get something Star Wars that's not totally shit. That they're like, well, we'll throw nines and tens at anything that's like comp, like anything that's
yeah.
that's well, that's not total shit.
And it's not total shit. Like the
If
gameplay,
it's not Battlefront 1,
the
then it's a
dogfights are really fucking good. Like I can't
yeah.
stress enough how good the actual gameplay is, but it's not enough. It's just not enough. To like come back after a mission and just have motherfuckers talk at me and then go back to a mission. It's just not enough.
New Jiraiya in the chat says play Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, and yes, if you want probably the best Star Wars RPG, I will flat out say Knights of the Republic is the best Star Wars game ever, and I want someone to try to fight me on that. That's what I want to see. I want to see more of that. But this
Yeah.
is it's so disappointing because watching this game, I was hesitant because I was like, it looks cool, but everything EA's put out has looked cool. What just comes to execution is when they fuck it up.
Yeah. Like I would have loved if this game did like if you took this game's space fighting and you combined like the ground warfare from Battlefront. If you combine those two shits, you would have something incredible. But we're still not where we need to be with either of these games.
I'll need to check. I'll check it out eventually, but I feel like this game's gonna get discounted really fast.
Yeah, I mean it's already $40. If you love those old X-wing TIE fighter games, I'm told that this is what those were. Again, it's like it's 2020. We shouldn't just be making just those games. I mean, fucking, they re-released Super Mario 64 this year, and goddamn, people were not satisfied with that. Like, I don't know why we're satisfied with this.
Yeah, I think a big part of it is against a lot of Star Wars fans. Their expectations are so low that if it's not total dog shit, it's a 9 or 10, and it's a bummer, man. It's a huge bummer. But we'll have to wait and see what else they do. They've got a couple other Star Wars projects coming out. They knocked out of the park with Fallen Order. I haven't played it yet, but everyone tells me it's good. We'll have to wait and see what other projects they got working on.
Yeah, this game looks like a tech demo for like the real Star Wars game. This
Yeah.
is what I was saying during the stream. But I did play one more game, just one more, and this one I played a good game this time. Fucking, I loaded up Hades, dude. Man,
Oh God, everyone's talking about Hades right now, dude. I need to
um,
pick that game up already. Everyone is talking about it.
it's incredible. It's actually, look, I won't go so far as to say people are calling this their game of the year. Not quite there for me, but it's phenomenal. I mean, this is another game that does one thing extremely well. but it does one thing and it fleshes it out completely in just a bunch of different ways. Like there's like a numerous types of weapons, like any play style that you could want. Like you get a sword, you get a shield, you get a bow, you get a spear, and they just play completely different from each other. I like using the shield because you can like block attacks and you get this rush ability, and then you can mix it up. You can mix and match. So I haven't even said what the game was yet. It's you're the son of Hades and you're running through the underworld, trying to get to the rest of your family up on Mount Olympus, and as you go through every room, like every chamber in the underworld, they'll give you like your family, like members of your family, like Zeus and Athena and all these guys. They'll give you like buffs, and they all do different stuff, and you kind of have to like choose. Okay, do I want this one? Do I want this one? And they all do different stuff, but like Zeus always has like a lightning buff. Persephone always has like a love ability. She'll like healing and shit like that. So like you'll come to know like what kind of abilities you have, but it's always randomized, so you never know exactly what you're gonna get. So the more you play, the more you learn what kind of things you want to like build towards. And it's super cool. Not much more to say than that. It's super giant. So if you know like Bastion and Transistor, it's a lot like that, like story focus, awesome soundtrack, and just straight up just fucking gameplay, dude. Just fucking gameplay. Nailed it.
That is good to hear, man. Because like Supergiant's got some good shit. I like. I don't think I've played a Supergiant game I haven't liked.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were kind of not in love with Pyre, but I don't think a lot of people understood Pyre. Like Pyre is kind of more. It's one you got to think about a little bit more. But and this one is as well. Like this one has a story that like this game kind of just throws you right the fuck into it. Like there's no tutorial, there's no nothing. It just fucking throws you in and says go, which I love. But the more you play, the more you fuck up. They trickle in just a little bit of story at you, and I like where it's going. I don't want to like spoil anything because anything you say about the story could potentially be a spoiler with this. But yeah, it's this game's incredible. I haven't finished it yet, but like a full run doesn't seem like it's super long. But I'm sure there's like a bunch of side stories and a bunch of different endings that you can get. So
I need to pick it up. It's on my list, man. I've wanted to play it for a while, and oh god, I'm gonna pick it up. I think I'm gonna buy it after this podcast. I just really want to play it. It looks the game looks right up my alley.
yeah, it's great.
So that's definitely your seal of approval then.
Yes.
Oh, you said that was the last game you've been playing, huh?
Yeah, I think that's it. I did go back and load up the old Final Fantasy VII just to compare. Like after I finished the remake, I wanted to go back and just compare. And yeah, it took me like 6 hours to do what was 40 hours in the remake. So, yeah.
That's good to know, man. Some people might be surprised by this, but this is a game. I bought a game yesterday. It was on sale. And this is a game I've actively talked shit about for quite a while now. And I feel bad like a hypocrite buying this game, but god damn it, I'm part of the problem. I bought Pokemon Sword yesterday.
Oh no.
Yeah. It was on sale, so I was like, you know what? I'll pick it up. I've been playing it ever since, dude. I've dumped like 3-4 hours into it already.
What do you
I bought
think?
it last night. It's
You in love with it?
it's hard, man. It does enough quality of life improvements that if this came out on the 3DS, I would love it. But the fact that it is a console Pokemon game and it's $60 is the asking price for this game. There's a lot of talk of like a lot of people, oh, it doesn't feel like a $60 game, and it doesn't. It doesn't at all. It feels like a remaster of a 3DS game is the best way I can describe it. Like it doesn't feel like a Switch game at all, and it's depressing. I paid $40 for it, so I don't feel too ripped off. But if I had paid $60 for this, I'd be upset. Mechanically, it is an improvement over the older games, but when you look at the evolution of games like Zelda, like Breath of the Wild, it's so hard to believe Breath of the Wild came out the same console as this game. Because graphically, this game is like a huge step back from that. It's so frustrating, dude. Like,
yeah, and that was one of the things I was hoping is that they would be a lot more open with their franchises, like they were with Breath of the Wild, and just completely say, okay, what are the core components of this, and how can we revamp everything to kind of make it better?
exactly.
And that's one of the things that Pokemon needs so fucking much, because they make the same goddamn game every time. It's the same every time.
For the couple hours I've played, this one does a couple things differently. The new Pokemon are pretty cool. The Dynamax system's pretty cool. I haven't gotten too much into it, but it's just, I know the problems with the game, dude. I know I'm not going to get to see all the Pokemon in this one unless I buy the expansion. I can get access to more Pokemon. There's this meme that the trees look like dog shit, and it's true. Like the trees straight up look like out of a 3DS game. Like it's really embarrassing. Like it looks like an N64 fucking ass tree.
Like what I ultimately want is for them to make Pokken Tournament, you know, the Wii U game, the fighting game. I want that combat in like a full-fledged Pokemon game. Like that would be, for me, that would be a big step in the right direction. It wouldn't totally fix things, but it'd be a huge thing in the right direction for me.
I don't know about that, but I would want more modern RPG aspects, because here's another thing to keep in mind. I came to this game off the heels of Dragon Quest XI, which that is an old school Japanese RPG.
Yeah.
And I still feel like that's a better RPG than Pokemon. It's so frustrating that this Dragon Quest is literally like the most like classic playing RPG ever. I still feel it feels fresher than Pokemon to me. Like I know it's a weird comparison because they're different types of games, but no, they're both turn-based RPGs, so it's not that weird to compare them. This game doesn't even have voice acting. Like, what the fuck? Like, even Zelda had voice acting, which is something that everyone there are diehard Zelda fans that were like, no, Breath of the Wild has voice acting. It's ruined forever. And they still managed to go through with it. But with this one, they don't do it. It still feels like a 3DS game.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they need voice acting. There's several things that, like, the combat for me is one of the big things. Like the combat's just always been the same. You hit me, I hit you. Oh, I'm poisoned, and like I just want to run around and then throw orders at my Pokemon, and then have them like. I want to be able to do what they do in the TV in the anime.
Yeah.
Like, Pikachu, dodge that, and then you fucking dodge it, and it's like, oh shit, and then counterattack. You know, that doesn't happen in the fucking games.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know if I would want that specifically, but
no, I want that exactly.
But I'm at this point where like I've been playing Pokemon since like forever, dude. Like I've been a lifelong Pokemon fan, and I feel myself falling more and more like out of love with the series as more games come out. It's weird. I'm still playing this one. Even now as we're talking, I'm like grinding and leveling up my Pokemon. I don't know if I actually like it or if I'm just doing it out of like, or if I'm doing it out of like some weird like sense of like nostalgia. I don't know. But I know this game. It's a step up from Sun and Moon. I fucking hated Sun and Moon. But with the leap we got from Sun and Moon to this, I don't think is big enough. Especially since like okay, I'm going back quite a bit. If you look at the jump we had from like Nintendo DS to 3DS, from black and white 2 to X and Y, like that was a huge jump in terms of like game quality and gameplay changes. Like I started to get bored with it around then, and then I fell back into it around there. But I feel like this jump from their last game to this one isn't big enough to like justify bring it to a new system. I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe New Jiraiya, he's been commenting like he agrees with me, and it's good. I like when people agree with me. It makes me feel good. But um, joking aside, I mean, if you're a diehard Pokemon fan, you probably have this game already. If you've been on the fence with it and you still like Pokemon and if you want to play Pokemon, this is Pokemon. And I suggest getting it while it's on sale for like $40-$30. I wouldn't pay a full $60 for this. I would pay what I would have paid if this game was on the 3DS, and that's it. That's my review.
Yeah, I would love to know what people want out of Pokemon. Do they just want just the same shit, or do they want actual change? Like I said, I want them to give this the Breath of the Wild treatment. Like Breath of the Wild was a Zelda game that I never knew I wanted. No, like it's not perfect. Like it could be more Zelda.
Yeah.
Like it's lacking in the Zelda department, but
yeah, Breath of the Wild's a game we both like, but I could still criticize it too. Like the dungeons in Breath of the Wild were dog shit. Like I hated the Time Beasts.
Yeah.
Like it felt like this copy pasted dungeon design, which if you look at the game, everyone loves to shit talk. Skyward Sword, as much as everyone shit talks it, the dungeons in that game were amazing, and that's something people don't want to admit. Because Ego Raptor made fun of Skyward Sword, so now everybody needs to make fun of Skyward Sword.
Is that why?
I'm positive that's it, dude. Like, come on. Like, why the hate for Skyward Sword?
I mean, Ego Raptor also hates Ocarina of Time, and that's fucking the most beloved game of all time.
It's really frustrating because seeing a console, I say in quotations, Pokemon game coming out on the Switch, I expected more and I didn't get it. This game could have easily come out in the 3DS and I wouldn't have noticed the difference.
Yeah.
Which is probably like the meanest thing I can say about it. It doesn't feel like a console Pokemon game.
Especially with like games like Temtem coming out where it's like a Pokemon-esque MMO.
Yes, or even like other games like what was that cassette tape one I sent you? Remember that? That was a cassette piece.
Yeah.
Like that game looks amazing. I'm gonna put that in the group chat if no one's seen Cassette Beast yet. If you haven't seen Cassette Beast yet, holy shit! Like this looks amazing. It's like a really cool mix of like Pokemon, Digimon, and like Paper Mario, which is like weird. Like this is a game I didn't know I wanted until like I saw it. And now that I've seen it, it looks like it was made for me. I'm putting it in the stream chat now on the Discord.
Cooking is fun. So wasn't Nino Kuni Pokemon-ish? Kinda, yeah.
Very similar. And you could argue like Shin Megami Tensei is like Pokemon-ish too, but better. I don't know, man. I didn't. It wasn't. Oh God, it's not a shitty game. That's the worst part. It's a comparable game. Like it does what it wants to do, but it doesn't. When you look at the past like 20 years of Pokemon we've had, it doesn't feel like a big enough evolution. And that's why my final review is like, if you want to play it, get it when it's on sale. Don't pay $60 for it.
Yeah.
And if like you need to get the expansion, do the same thing. Like get it on sale if you absolutely have to play the expansion. I might end up skipping it though.
Maybe the next game is better. Maybe
we'll see.
Maybe.
Hopefully, but we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Or maybe we'll just get Pokemon Shield Black or so, whatever fucking Shield X.
Yeah. I'm still playing Dragon Quest 11. That's still great. 10 out of 10. Go buy it. I beat Borderlands 3.
Wow.
I finished it. That was fun. I'm playing through some of I'm playing through True Vault Hunter mode again with some of the mayhem modifiers turned on. So that's like a lot of fun. That's definitely scratching my my loot grinding itch. Like that I was playing Diablo for that, but I've kind of moved up to Borderlands 3 now.
You moved up to Borderlands, not
I
down.
guess moved to Borderlands.
Oh, okay.
Here's the thing: I've been playing Diablo 3 religiously for years. Like I need a break, and that break was Borderlands 3.
Still not checking out Path of Exile.
I still haven't checked out Path of Exile. I'm kind of burnt on action RPGs, dude, because like whenever Diablo drops a new season, I dump a ton of hours into it. Like it's embarrassing how many hours I dump into each new season. So I'm kind of burnt out of action RPGs right now.
Yeah.
I will play Path of Exile eventually when I'm bored with like Borderlands, but this is a lot of fun. Borderlands 3 is actually really fun, man. Like I'd take this from me. Like it sucked up a lot of my time. The story isn't that bad, and there are some scenes that actually made me laugh. Characters don't know how to shut the fuck up though. Like, oh my god. Like there's some characters just stop. There's this bit. Okay, I'm gonna rant. There's this bit which is like my favorite and least favorite mission of the game. We're on this spaceship, and you find this like computer AI who's stuck in a teddy bear, and he's voiced by Ice-T, and he's fucking hilarious the whole time you're playing through the game. But his like AI girlfriend who controls the spaceship is so fucking annoying. It's the weirdest dichotomy I've ever seen, where you have this hilarious character bouncing off this annoying character. And there's this scene where where I shit you not, the girlfriend AI starts making monkey noises to like attract these like monkey enemies to you. And you think, okay, she's gonna do it and have to fight these guys. She does it the whole fucking fight. It goes on for like 10, 15 minutes of her just and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, oh my god.
Yeah,
it's so annoying.
The real game boss is the fucking dialogue.
It's so bad, dude. And it sucks. There's some scenes that are hilarious and like legit make me laugh. But there's equally like a bunch of characters and scenes that are just so annoying and jokes that go on way too long. It's like a really bad South Park, really bad Family Guy skit that goes on way longer than it needs to.
Yeah, I muted that game a long time ago, so I probably come across that and had it on mute and didn't even know that it was Ice-T. Because that'd be dope. I'd like to hear that.
It's so funny, dude. And he plays his character's name is Balex. So if you want to get the best of him, just look up Balex on YouTube or something. Like look up some of his scenes. Like he's my favorite part of the game because it's Ice-T doing his Ice-T thing, and it's hilarious. Like I think every cameo Ice-T's ever done has been hilarious.
Yeah.
But there's equally annoying characters. Like honestly, like
everyone else.
Yeah, basically, play the game with the podcast on. That's my recommendation. Play with the podcast on. If you're just absolutely like, oh no, I need that Borderlands 3 lore, go ahead, man, be my guest. But
you get into the DLC with that. I heard the DLC was a lot better.
That's what everyone keeps telling me, and I will pick up the DLC eventually. But the problem is that the season pass is still like $50. I'm not about to drop $50 on that. Yeah, because like maybe I'm wrong on this, but the season pass on Epic and the season pass on Steam are priced differently. So I need to make sure I buy the Steam season pass, which is like $50. And I think Borderlands announced a new season pass, didn't they? Like a new season? Or am I wrong on that?
There was a new DLC that came out.
Yeah.
Recently. I don't know if I think it's part of the season pass though. Well, that's when I loaded it back up, is because people were saying, "Oh yeah, no, the DLC is like way better, dude." But yeah, I haven't checked it out yet.
It's a fun game if you can get past some of the annoying, like cringy shit. It's a really fun game.
Yeah, the game's fun. I wish Man, if we're talking about if it's Borderlands hour real quick, I want to talk about how bad the UI is. Specifically, like when I'm looting my shit and I just want to like know, okay, is this gun trash or is this gun like I don't want to pick up a gun and then go through all my shit and mark it as trash. It's one of the things that I talk about, like the console version of Diablo 3 did so well
Yeah,
was
yeah.
that
You can mark it as trash before you put it in your inventory.
yeah, like this game's coming out and it's trying to be like, again, it's after playing all these good looter shooter these good loot games. This one comes out and just takes a lot of steps back in terms of
Yeah,
like the progress that's been made and like with Destiny and Diablo and shit like that. So the UI fucking sucks. I
yeah.
hate
Oh yeah.
going through my like running out of ammo and fucking just like everything that has to do with fucking around in the UI sucks, man.
That's annoying. I spend as little time in the UI as possible. And
Yeah,
another thing, that's something that annoys me. This is coming from someone who came off Diablo 3. One thing I love about Diablo 3 is the adventure mode, which is basically just looting, dungeons, without the story, which is
yeah,
fine. The story is the shittiest part of Diablo 3. I'm sorry, you Diablo like lore fans, but that's not what I played Diablo for. I have dumped hundreds of hours into Diablo. I can't tell you anything about the story because I exclusively play adventure mode. And Borderlands 3 doesn't have anything like that. So you have to play through the game for like what 20, 30 hours to beat it, and then you unlock True Vault Hunter mode. And I thought, cool, maybe I can start True Vault Hunter mode with like other characters. No. If I want that True Vault Hunter mode and start playing through like the Mayhem modifiers and all that extra other cool like new game plus, I say in quotation marks, stuff. I need to play through the base game again with that character.
yeah. It's again like this is stuff that even do you never get into Destiny?
I did get into Destiny, and
Destiny
I
is like
played it for a little bit, but it did do something similar. Whereas, like when they released their new expansion, they're like, "Cool, here's like an orb to like max out your character's level and basically take it to the end of the game, so you can play the end game content. So you're not like playing through the whole campaign again with another character class."
yeah. And I don't know, Destiny 2 has a really good turnaround story, man. Like they really brought it together with the latest stuff. That has me like excited for the the new expansion that's coming out. Um
I remember you were talking about that. I haven't played Destiny 2. Well, I played a little bit when it was free on PlayStation Plus with my brother, and he was
yeah,
like trying to get it. He was trying to
it's
get me
free
into it.
now. It's free to play now. Only the you only have to get the expansions, but the base game
Yeah,
is totally free.
I was trying to get into it, but it didn't quite scratch the itch that Borderlands did.
Yeah.
And it's got the same problem where like it takes its story, like it tries to be a story game, and I'm like, no, just let me loot shit.
Yeah, it does that, but unlike Borderlands, you can like once you finish like the story shit, you can just do you can just run around and shoot shit. And that's actually the fun part because there's a ton of hidden just oh, I walked over here and there's a fucking thing with a skull on it that just dropped from the fucking sky and killed me in one shot. Like there's a lot of that where it's just like a bunch of just hidden enemies and bosses and shit that just happen when you walk past them.
Yeah, I love
And then
that.
there'll be like 15 other guys shooting that shit and you're like, I'm gonna join these guys and shooting this thing. I have no idea what's happening.
What Borderlands 3 should do what Destiny did, where it has like an adventure mode where you could run around, do like random generated quests and stuff. Or maybe like a torment mode, like what Destiny or like what Diablo has, where you can just run through randomly generated dungeons and score loot based on how fast you do the dungeon. Like I would love to see something like that. But no, don't make me play the story again. Like
Yeah.
I'm a grown ass man, dude. If I want to waste my time with a story, I'll like watch a movie or read a book. That's not why I play. Your writing's not good enough for me to be here for the story. There, I said it. Ah, God. Anyway, that's the Borderlands 3 hour.
Right.
Those of you listening, like, should I buy the game? Yeah, buy it. Just play it on mute with the
Yeah.
podcast
Yeah.
on. God, but that's what I've been playing, man. Let's get into some news. PlayStation 5, we got to look at the new UI. And I don't hate it. I like that. We're gonna go through some of the highlights right now, but my favorite feature is that you could do most of the UI stuff, the control center stuff, in game, and it's really quick. It's like that. Like you push a button, there it is. It overlays instead of completely booting you out of it, and you can do most things from it. You can take pictures, edit video, go through the menu, check achievements, which they call, like, what do they call them in this one? Like progress trophies. I can't remember what they called them in this one.
They're still trophies, but they're called yeah, they kind of like renamed a lot of stuff.
Like they're in-game missions, and it lets you, like, God, what do they call it? What the fuck do they call it?
I think I wrote it in the doc, but I don't have the doc up.
Let me see. Activities. They're activities, which are kind of like trophies, but they're game specific, like activities you can perform and get rewards. What's cool is that it gives you, like, it tells you which ones you have to do. From the control center, you can see, like, what you have to do. It has an estimate of how long it'll take you to knock it out. And if you click on it, it'll just teleport you to that spot to run the activity.
Yeah.
Like, it respects your time, and that's what I like about it. I like clean interfaces that cut the bullshit, and it respects your time and just lets you get to what you want to get to. Cough, cough, Borderlands, cough, cough. But,
I don't know if I'd say it's exactly clean because I don't know, the way I play games or the way I interact with my user interface is I know exactly what I'm looking for, you know? Like I don't need them to tell me, "Oh, hey, there's a level you didn't do." I mean, what they're showing me here in the levels is I'm already like, well, they're already on the screen with the levels on them, so you can literally just walk to the level.
yeah.
Like wouldn't you don't need to pull this up to see it. But like my thing is I don't like seeing stuff that I'm never going to interact with. It's not so much here, but um well, like here's a good example. Like they're showing here they're showing the activities, and then next to the activities it's they have like a hint system.
Yeah.
And well, they say it's like a PlayStation Plus like bonus thing, but I'm not sold on this hint system, man. Like I don't think developers are going to be utilizing this. You have to understand how much work it takes to build a video for every single one of these things that says, "Oh, here's how you do this." Uh, like I'm not convinced that this is going to be a feature that many devs are going to put into their games. Um, which then leads to the question: okay, so if devs don't put it in their games, how like are they just going to pull like a random YouTube video, which would fucking suck because every YouTube video comes with, "Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm going to show you how to do X and such in X game, and make sure to hit that subscribe button and like and comment. And you know, last week we were playing this game and dot 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 dot." And then 5 minutes later, they actually get to the thing you're fucking looking for.
Yeah. Well, maybe there'll be like a community feedback system. So if someone like takes forever to get to the point, like it gets voted down, and like the more useful videos get like pushed to the top.
Yeah, but that also sucks because like I don't want to like go in there and watch 20 videos to find the one that actually
I
had
hear
the
that.
thing I was looking for. Like it's well, I'm being a little pessimistic on this, not knowing
Yeah.
exactly how it works, but I
Uh,
imagine the
that's how
first
up the
parties
weight.
are gonna do it, but like
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed comes out, I fucking doubt. I doubt they're gonna make 1,000 videos to show exactly where every feather is that you have to collect and shit like that. Like that's so much work to do, man. So much work.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see what they do with it. I was more excited with how fast the interface was. And they're showing the picture-in-picture thing was really cool to see. You know, you can have something up while you're playing the game. The party system was great because you can not only is there a chat, but you can also share content while you're in the chat. God, what
Yeah.
else?
They also said
Um,
after the fact that the party is going to be multi-platform,
yes.
so you can bring in like if you're on mobile, you can bring in mobile. I would love to see a PC client because
Hmm.
I'm usually on PC like using Discord and shit. But if they had a PC client that I connect to like a party chat with people on console and then with people on mobile, like that would be cool if everyone's just
Yeah,
connected.
that would be cool. And we'll have to wait and see if that comes through. All in all, like I was excited for it. They also announced that screenshots and videos can be taken at a 4K resolution, which cool. That's gonna tank your fucking memory, but cool. That's my dogs. Ignore them. So my brother brought his dog over, which is fine. I love having him over. But when his dog and my dog get together, they do that.
Oh, what's he got? Like a little
Like,
Yorkie?
no, it's a fucking Jack Russell Terrier like mine.
Oh, okay.
Like we're positive they're from the same litter, but like they will play until they physically can't play anymore, and then keep playing. Like it's neither of them want to stop once they get started. It's really frustrating. I've had moments where like once they leave, like my dog like collapses and she's like, I'm just gonna lie here for the next like 30 hours. Because she's just so exhausted from playing. Like they rile each other up. It's really frustrating. Um, but no, the screenshot system looks really good, which is they're showing off right now. It's all done in menu and it's really quick, it's really fast. Videos are recorded at can be recorded at 4K, which if it's recording like they're in the background, like that's gonna tank your memory. If you save like a 15-minute clip
Yeah.
with a 4K resolution, fuck, dude, that is gonna tank your memory.
Um,
Um,
here's what I don't. Uh, here's what I don't like is that,
yeah,
and this is the same problem I have with the PS4, which they didn't say anything about. They My problem with them showing off the thing is that they're gonna only tell us what they want us to know about it.
yes,
Whereas like the Xbox stuff, people have been making videos about the Xbox for like they've had them for 3 weeks now, and they've just been coming
yeah,
out with video. Whereas no one's touched the PlayStation yet. So I don't know. Like I can only trust what Sony is telling me about it.
hmm
I only know what Sony's telling me about it,
yeah.
and
Which is another thing I want to get into. Like, take like what they tell you with a grain of salt
yeah.
because we're seeing what they want to see. So
So what at this screen I paused at here looks exactly like what I don't like about the PlayStation 4, which is it's showing me stuff that I don't want. I don't want to look at. Like it's showing me like the PlayStation Now icon and the PlayStation Plus icon and the share play button and
yeah,
like I only want to see the stuff that I want to look at, which is just like my games and my apps. Like people shit on the PS3 UI, but at least with the PS3 UI, everything was in its own place. Like my games
yeah,
are not mixed with my music. It wasn't mixed with my Netflix. It wasn't mixed with like nothing was mixed together. It all has its own section.
yeah,
And that's my problem with the PS4 and the PS5. What it looks like is that it's doing the same thing where when you launch a thing, it puts it first in the menu and just everything goes there and it gets cluttered for shit that you don't really want to use, and you can
yeah,
never like hide the icon. Like I've got that stupid fucking share play PS4 thing. I forget what it is. Like the PS4 like camera thing. I've never had a
mhm.
PS4 camera. Never fucking downloaded that app. Never anything. But that app is like locked on my PS4 forever. And I'm never gonna use
No,
it.
I know exactly what you mean. It's a frustrating situation. There should be, hopefully, we'll have an option to like customize like your interface, take some shit out that you don't need. But we'll see. Like maybe it's never going to happen, but we'll see. It's still pretty early on, and hopefully, when it comes out, we'll have more people talking about, oh, here's some shitty thing like Sony didn't tell us.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
really annoying about the UI.
Like the UI is
We'll
really
come down to
cool.
waiting and seeing. Yeah, it's cool. Like it's really cool to see, and it's definitely cleaner than the PS4 one. But you're right. There's still annoying things about like apps you can't get rid of, apps you can't clear out. Um, oh God, what else? There's a lot of functions that are up. They're leaving up to devs to like put in that they're under no obligation to actually use. So it's a
Yeah.
feature that might go missing on some other like AAA multi-console games.
And then I remember, like, speaking of PS3 again, PS3. Remember PS3 had the setting where you could be like, as long as you had a disc in thing, you could set it to like just launch straight into the disc. Like,
Yes.
don't even go into the UI. Just boot the game when I turn my thing on. Um, not so much necessary anymore because like I never close my games. I always just suspend everything like indefinitely.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Um, but this is like cool. What they didn't show was like Xbox has quick resume.
Hmm.
So like people have demonstrated like loading 5 different Xbox games and just jumping in between them, and it remembers exactly where you left off. Even after Alana Pierce had a video where she unplugged her Xbox for 24 hours, plugged it back in, and all her games were still exactly where she left them, and she could just jump right back in. And
Yeah, that was fucking crazy. I was like, wow,
they,
that's
they haven't shown
super
anything
helpful.
like that for PlayStation yet. Which, yeah, realistically, no one's gonna be having fucking 12 games backgrounded on their thing. But I play a lot of different games, so sometimes I'm playing like Ori and the Blind Forest, and then someone might send me an invite for some like Destiny, and I'll jump into some Destiny. And it'd be nice if my Ori was still exactly where I left it when I got back to it. I don't know.
Yeah, it reminds me of like, when you're a kid and you're playing a game and someone comes by like, "Oh, we're leaving." And you're like, "Oh, let me get to a save point." Like that's not a thing anymore.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you don't have to worry about even if like you're in the middle of a cutscene, you can just be like, "Okay, then rest, come back, pick up right where you left off." Like that's
Actually,
fucking
like
awesome.
my thing was Star Fox 64 was like, because that's a game that doesn't, it's like run based, so you have to like finish the game because there's no saving.
Yes.
Um, so like I would leave that game running for for like 24 hours until I can get back to it. As a kid, yeah,
Yeah, so some stuff like that, like quick resume, quick like quick sleep options, like those are really cool, and I want to see more of that. More functional stuff is what I want to see.
yeah. Also,
Um,
Destruction All Stars, $70. Um, but it's
I
cool because
remember.
you can run around.
And for those of you who don't or who weren't here, we talked about this game a couple weeks ago on the podcast, and all the comments were like, "It's so cool you can run around. Like getting out of the car is a fucking game changer." And we couldn't tell if they were like real or sarcastic.
I think they're real.
You
You'd be
think so?
surprised.
Oh, I hope not. Like it looks like it looks okay, but is that game worth $70? Like really, really,
Haven't seen
really?
anything about it. That's the thing is no one fucking knows because no one's played it yet, right?
Exactly. Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens.
But they have stuff on here, but as far as I know, no one has a PS5. No one's like has hands on with the thing yet. Like they have Uncharted Lost Legacy. I would love to know what the features of that are on PS5, but they've never said anything about it until this video came out, and then oh look, our friend's streaming Uncharted Lost Legacy. Let's take a look. And you're like, wait a minute, like let's take a closer look at that, man. Like you just gotta glance over that, like
Just like, oh, by the way, Lost Legacy PS5.
yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's still so much we don't know about PS5, and it's
Yeah.
coming out in less than a month.
Yeah, it's hard to get excited with how little we know about it. I have a buddy of mine who asked me if I pre-ordered my PS5 yet. Like he's expected me to do it, and I'm like, no. Why would I pre-order? I don't know nothing about it. We got like less than a month before this comes out, and I know dick all about it. Plus, like none of the games they're dropping like look like day one buys to me.
Oh, you ain't gonna get that Devil May Cry special edition, whatever the
I
fuck
can
it's called.
get the special edition content on my PS4 though. Like,
Oh yeah,
like the only
yeah.
thing that they're adding is like, oh, you can play as Nero now in the campaign, like a new Nero get like gameplay, and I can just buy that expansion on my PS4. Which, don't get me wrong, Devil May Cry 5 is like, it's gonna look amazing in 4K, but I'm happy on 1080p. The game already runs at 60 FPS, which is all I need on my TV. Like, I get I'm not the target demo for this. I'm the guy who just bought a new like five. They want to get the guy who just bought a new $5,000 4K TV with with fucking with OLED and fucking 120 hertz refresh rate for whatever reason, and that guy needs to justify to himself dropping all this dime on a TV.
News
Like,
Riot
that's who that.
says Ratchet and Clank. That's not a launch game.
Nope. That's the thing people keep forgetting. That's not coming out day one. Which I've never been a huge Ratchet and Clank fan, but I did play their new game on their remake on PS4.
Yeah,
Phenomenal. I became a Ratchet and Clank fan
right.
after that.
That was my game of the year when that came out.
I remember that. Yeah, I played it on your recommendation. I loved it.
That was the first game in a while that I played, finished, and then jumped right back into to a new game plus, which I never fucking do.
Yeah, that's what got me to go check it out. And I still waited until it was free on PlayStation Plus, and I did the same thing. I played it start to finish and then restarted it. It's a fun game, man. If you guys take anything from this podcast, go fucking play Ratchet and Clank.
Usually I said she didn't like the new one, so fucking.
I know a lot of fans didn't like it, but here's the thing. Quick secret for you guys. I'm not a Ratchet and Clank fan. So I liked it. God, what else we got to go over? So that's the PlayStation Hour.
Yeah, there's more later.
Yeah, we did get some new games coming on Xbox Game Pass for console and PC, which I was just telling Wasabi earlier. I just renewed my subscription because my card got lost, and I forgot to put my new card on, so I had to go fuck around with that. We got some great games coming out, dude. Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition is dropping. That dropped October 15th. So all these games except for 3 are already out. Age of Empires 3 is already out on Game Pass. Heave Ho is out on Game Pass for PC. Katana Zero is out on Game Pass for Android console and PC, which I'm excited. I've wanted to play Katana Zero for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
It looks like Hotline Miami with ninjas, and I'm okay with that.
They also specify that's out on Android as well.
Yes. Yes.
Are they talking? Is that like xCloud they're talking about, or is that like
running natively on Android? I doubt it. It's got to be on like xCloud.
Yeah.
Then we have Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition,
great game,
which is also out on console and PC. Everyone tells me that. Dude, I have a weird love-hate relationship with the Tales of games. Like, everyone tells me, oh, this is the one to get into. And then I play it, and I'm like, and I drop it after like 20 hours.
If they're not saying Tales of Symphonia, they're wrong.
Okay, I've played Tales of Symphonia, Tales of Abyss. What was that other one that came out with 2 playable characters? What was it? God damn it.
Oh, Zestiria?
Xillia. Tales of Xillia. Yeah. I played all 3 of them. I dropped them all after like 20 hours.
Well, that's your fault, man. Look, Tales of Symphonia is like, that game gets fucking deep, dude. There's like racism, there's genocide, there's
Fuck it, I have that at home. Why do I gotta play a game to get that? Why I gotta play a game to get that, much less wait like 100 hours? But no, joking aside, like, I'm probably gonna boot up Vesperia because everyone tells me, every fucking Tales of fan tells me a different game to start with.
No, they're wrong. It's just Symphonia. That's the only one that's gotten. Well, okay, that was before they started like doing remasters. That was the first and only one that ever got a remaster. And then they started doing like the rest of them. But that just goes to show they know what the good one was. They know what the one everyone wanted was, and then they did the rest of them.
I'll give it a try again. I think my problem is that I'm playing I'm trying to play it like it's Devil May Cry, and it's not.
Oh
It's
yeah,
Final Fantasy with like action combat, and I think if I
yeah.
change my mindset, I might enjoy it more. Um, we also have Swords of Ditto, Mormo's Curse, which the Swords of Ditto, the first Swords of Ditto game I heard was really good. It's like a Zelda-esque like parody game, or am I thinking of It'll Do? But I've
Swords of
heard they're
Ditto is
good.
cool. It's not what you think it is. It has some issues,
Oh
but it's
yeah.
fun. Hold on, there's jets flying.
While that jet's flying, Swords of Ditto, that's out already on PC. These next games are coming out later. So we have Scourgebringer coming out on console October 21st. Cricket 19 coming out on console October 22nd, and Superland coming out on console October 22nd as well. All in all, man, we've talked about on the podcast before. Game Pass is a great deal. I think it's like what $10 a month on PC right now. You get access to all these games. Like it's a great deal, and more games are coming out soon. One I've been waiting for until I bought it on Switch. Dragon Quest XI Definitive Edition is coming out on Xbox Game Pass in December.
Yeah.
So that's something to look forward
I
to.
actually did want to
Um,
mention Superland a little bit. It's unfortunate that that's only on console because that is on PC on Steam right now,
oh
and
yeah,
that game is actually pretty fucking awesome.
I love that game. Is actually pretty fucking awesome.
Well, because no one knows about it, and no one knows about it. I played it, and it's really cool. It's really really cool.
What is it?
It's you're like a it's hard to explain, man. You're like it's called Supraland because you're tiny and like you're in like you're small and it's like a big everything else is big like Honey I Shrunk the Kids kind of um and it's just like it's a 3D platform adventure game basically.
There's a demo for it on Steam, so I might download that.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
description. This is like actually the actual description from the Steam page. It says, "Try the demo, a mix between Portal, Zelda, and Metroid. Explore, solve puzzles, beat up monsters, and find secrets with new abilities that help you reach new places."
yeah.
And I'm like,
Okay.
all right, I'm cool with that. That sounds right up my alley. I'm probably gonna download the demo.
Yeah, great
Um,
game.
and also in some quickie news, we got some new details on the voice chat functionality coming to PS5, which we went over a little bit with their voice chat system. That it's going to be like it's a more kind of word it engaged chat, so
Well,
you can actually share stuff while you're gaming. But is there some
here's
more
the
stuff I
thing
didn't
with
know about?
this.
Okay,
There was a problem. So okay, so
all
they
right.
came out with PlayStation 4 update 8.0.0 came out, and people got upset. So look, I don't go on Twitter a lot, but Twitter fucking always finds something to complain about. So this is what they found. They said,
Yeah.
so anyone gonna acknowledge this? The party system is so messed up too. The invite menu is also awful. But he's talking about this. He's talking about this message that pops up saying voice chats may be recorded for moderation. By joining, you agree to being recorded. So people were like, "Oh shit, man! Sony's fucking spying on us, man. This is crazy. They're not even telling people about this."
I mean, they are telling people about it, but that's how you
Yeah,
found out. They told you about it, but whatever.
yeah. So people were up in arms about this, and fucking so Sony had to come out and was like, "No, dumbasses, we're not fucking recording your chats. I mean, we are, but not for the reasons you think. It's because on the PS5, you can submit your voice chat if someone's like fucking with you or like trolling you or something. Someone swears at you, you can report them and then send the recording of what you reported to Sony for moderation.
See, that doesn't sound so bad. Like, I bet those are the same people that like copy and paste that I do not give Facebook permission to use my images, even though they're
Yeah,
fucking. That's not how that works at all.
yeah.
Oh god, that's
Um,
so annoying.
here's what I don't Here's what I don't fully understand about this. It sounds like it's only
Yeah.
for like party chat, but if you're in a party chat, typically you're in with like people you know,
Yeah, I was
who
about
you
to say,
trust.
like, you wouldn't really
Um,
get trolled in a party chat.
yeah, unless like someone invites like a random guy you don't know to the chat and he's like fucking with everyone. Um,
At that point, just kick them out. Like,
yeah, yeah. But like I can understand if it recorded like your Call of Duty match and there was like a random asshole in there just fucking spouting bullshit and you want to report that, like that makes sense.
yeah,
Um
but your party chat doesn't make sense. Like,
I'm
there's not
actually
going to be a lot of.
surprised I'm actually surprised it's not that
Yeah,
because yeah, because this seems like a much more like rarer occurrence than that. But
yeah. I mean, maybe it will be that later. They're just like working it out on a more stable system now. I don't know, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
yeah, but they came
Um,
out and said, note that this feature would not actively monitor or listen to your conversations ever. It's strictly reserved for reporting online abuse or harassment. So people fucking calm down.
yeah,
I
which
mean,
basically, like in English, means that they don't have access to those recordings until you send it to them.
yeah. And
Um,
like, if you really want to like get up in arms, like you got a cell phone on you, right? Like, if you're worried about being recorded, uh, don't point at PlayStation, motherfucker. Like, you got a phone, you're being recorded.
yeah. So stop bitching. Um, Something that is worth bitching about, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago, is that Facebook's account verification system on their Oculus, what was it, the Oculus Quest 2?
Yeah.
So if you guys don't remember, we reported on a story a little while ago that Facebook is now making verifications mandatory on their Quest 2. Well, actually, all their Oculus stuff, right?
Uh,
Or it's just the Quest 2. I can't remember.
the Quest Two
Point
is
is,
gonna require it, but everything the old stuff will still work. If I remember correctly, the old stuff will still work without requiring it.
yeah. The big problem, though, is that this is something people are experiencing now, is it's kind of leaving your system dead if you don't verify. So, that's kind of a bummer. You drop all this money on it, now you gotta fucking set up a Facebook account to get it to work. That's frustrating as shit.
Yeah, but not only that, it's even people with like legitimate accounts, there's like some like authorization that's going through and it's saying um you can't use Facebook because your account or activity on it didn't follow our community standards. We've already reviewed this decision and it cannot be reversed. So even people who like have legitimate accounts are getting disabled because of some back end thing that's happening and denying them after the
And
fact.
it's so frustrating, man. Like, my God.
Like Facebook is fucked, man. I actually uh something reminded me to delete my account the other day and I went ahead and did that.
Oh, yeah.
So
Good. It's just it's such a frustrating situation, dude. Like, I'd be pissed if I bought this thing. And these Quest 2s aren't cheap, man. And now because of some bullshit on Facebook's end, it's fucking useless.
yeah.
Ah, it's so frustrating. Hopefully this gets resolved. If enough people complain, hopefully this gets resolved, but we'll see what happens. I doubt it, but we'll see what happens, man. In some other news, Marvel Avengers just had their State of the Game update, where they were giving out a bunch. So they announced this on the Marvel Avengers page on the Square Enix like forums. They're showing they acknowledge that, hey, we know the launch like wasn't the best and the game was kind of shitty, so they gave everybody a bunch of free like in-game assets, currency, credits, units, stuff like that.
You know your
Um,
game's bad when 2 months after it launched, you got to put out a state of the game,
yeah,
uh, like 2 months. This game came out in August,
yeah,
and it's already fucking fucked, man.
yeah, dude, which is so frustrating. And they're announcing a bunch of features based on fan feedback.
a bunch of fixes.
Yeah,
By the
fixes.
way,
Features the wrong word. They're basically fixes.
like the issues that I had, I played and completed the game with these issues. They're finally addressing right now. This is the exact issue I was having with my game, where uh, NVIDIA specific issues where some users have reported performance degrading over time. That was my exact issue. The longer I played that game, the worse it fucking ran.
Yep, that's one thing they're fixing. They're also fixing. Apparently, I didn't know this was a problem, so I never heard this before. But one of the fixes that they're announcing is mission reward clarity, improved clarity around mission specific rewards when views. Are you fucking kidding me? Did the game actively like lie to you about what you'd be earning if you did that mission? Like, is that what I'm reading here?
I think they would tell you what grade. They would tell you what grade of reward you would get, but not the actual reward. It's I think that's what that means. Like they would tell you, hey, you'll get a rare item from this, but they wouldn't tell you exactly what you would get. So might be what that is.
Like that's day one. Like that should have been there from the beginning, man. Like if you're being vague on your mission rewards in a fucking like loot driven game, like what's wrong with you?
Hey, that's the game, my friend. That is what like. We were talking Genshin Impact for the past couple weeks. That's what that game is. Like, it's random loot boxes, and they're actually required to tell you the percent chance now. If you look at the chart, you have like a 0.9% chance at like the 5-star shits.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So that's what these games are.
Another thing that caught my eye, and this is something you've been bitching about since the game came out. Off-screen and ranged enemy attack indicators.
Yep. So like
From
it's impossible
to
tell. Everything has a ranged attack in that game, and you cannot tell what the fuck is hitting you. I mean, they give you like an icon and say, "Hey, you're about to get hit with some shit," but they're not going to tell you like where it's coming from or like when to dodge or anything like that. So yeah. This is a lot. I mean, it's sounds like it's better. We'll see when it comes out, but I'm done with this game. And so is like the rest of the world.
Yeah, you played it for like 2 months. You finished it. Like, what the fuck else is there to do with it? Like,
the player count is like less than 2,000 now daily.
Oh my god!
And it peaked at like 30,000. So like no one's playing this game.
What is up with Disney like letting these companies release these subpar games for these franchises that make them so much money?
I'm sure the game sold well. Like, you know, it's got Marvel and Avengers in the title.
Yeah, I'm sure it sold well, but who's playing it after? Like,
probably nobody. They probably don't really care. Or maybe they do. They want to keep people paying.
They announced some other stuff too, you know, some extra end game content. They did announce, hey, we're gonna have some new characters coming to the game.
Yeah, which, I think Hawkeye is that one? I don't know shit about Marvel. Is this Hawkeye?
It is Kate Bishop. I don't know who that is, so if someone wants to tell me who that is, go ahead.
I think Hawkeye is a female now, and I think that's her. Maybe, I don't know.
I'm the same way. I don't know too much about Marvel. Especially a lot of the new Marvel stuff. Like I knew nothing about Kamala Khan until this game came out. We'll have to wait. I mean, I keep saying we'll have to wait and see, but we know what the state the game's in. They had to fucking fix it. I don't think it's enough to bring people back, but I don't know. It's Marvel, so it might be. But at the same time, anyone who wanted the game probably already got it already.
Yeah. Well, it would also need a deep discount. So
yeah, we'll have to wait and see, man. That's the state of Marvel Avengers. In cool news, though, this is something I read about the other day, and I was so excited to talk about this on the podcast. In honor of Sega's 60th anniversary, they are releasing a ton of like free little games to play that you could download and keep. The first one is Streets of Kamurocho, which is a mashup of Streets of Rage 2 and Yakuza.
Yeah.
That is out today, and it's free to play.
This looks awesome. I need to download
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, dude, same. Like, I'm not expecting like a big game out of this. I'm not expecting like Streets of Rage 4, but that's such a cool little thing to do, man. It reminds me when Street Fighter had its 25th anniversary. What was that, like fucking for like 5 years ago? And they did that Mega Man Street Fighter crossover. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah, everyone's having anniversaries this year. Fucking.
Which I'm cool with, man. If I get free shit out of it.
Yeah.
This game looks like a lot of fun. Like I'm downloading it right now. I don't know when I'll have time to get to it, but I really, really want to try it out. Like I like Streets of Rage. I do like Yakuza. It's a small download. I think it was only like, someone in the chat said it was 33 megabytes. So you can download it in like not even a minute. But it looks like fun. Like, and it's free. Like, what's to complain about, man?
Yeah, and they have other stuff. There's some other stuff on there. Sonic 2 is free right now.
Yeah, they have a Golden Axe game that's going to be free. I think that's coming out in a couple days. The Golden Axe one's really cool though, because what Golden Axe does is that it's like I guess it's an unfinished Golden Axe game that they were working on that was scrapped, and they just released it for free. Like, hey, here, come play it. Like, this is the idea we had before we scrapped it. And there's one other game I can't remember. I think it's a Zone of Enders, like little mini game coming out too.
Yeah. They put out. There's another one, Endless Zone, which is based on their Endless Space.
That's what I meant. I said Zone of Enders. I meant Endless Zone.
Yeah.
Zone of Enders is Konami. That's my bad. But yeah, like there's some cool stuff coming out, man, and I think it's neat. Sega's doing this for their anniversary. Meanwhile, Nintendo has their Mario anniversary, and they release some subpar ports of old Mario games. I can't go 1 week without shit talking that, dude.
Yeah,
it's mad disappointing.
But see, people care about that, but they don't care about Star Wars Squadrons anyway.
That's true. This one I know nothing about. The next generation of Destiny. I'm gonna have you take this because I don't know shit about Destiny.
I haven't been following it too closely myself, but what they're really showing here is not really Destiny. What's coming next in Destiny? They're talking about how the support for Destiny on the next gen consoles. So you can see here like Xbox Series X. It's going to be 4K 60, PS5 4K 60. Series S though is 1080p, which is interesting because I thought that would at least be like a 1440p console.
That's what I thought.
But they're adding FOV sliders to the consoles. Fucking awesome.
Good. Yeah, we talked about this. Good move.
They're adding cross generation play, which I'm assuming that means like PS4 and PS5 can play together.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not cross platform, but that's just a step in the right direction, I guess.
Yeah.
And the upgrade is free.
Yeah, that's my favorite part about it, is that it's a free upgrade.
Yeah.
They're not fucking around with it, making you buy an Ultimate Edition. Cough, cough, control, cough, cough. It's a free upgrade, so that's great for Destiny 2 fans. You can keep playing the game when you buy your new system.
See, I don't understand why it's so easy. Why it's so easy for certain games to do it, but then like Control or Call of Duty, it's like, well, okay, if you buy this version, you got to do this, this, and this. But if you buy this version, you can just do this. But on Xbox, you're gonna have to do this. And if you get it on PlayStation, is this? It's like, what's
money, dude? That's what it is. It's money. They just want more money. Like, it's maximizing profits.
I guess, but you gotta know it's a bad look. You gotta know it's a bad look.
Yeah.
Like sometimes making money, you have to do what's right for the people,
Yeah.
or it can hurt you even more negatively.
I feel like Call of Duty can get away with it. Call of Duty is almost like too big to fail.
Yeah.
So I can understand a game like Call of Duty like making this hard because it's like, what are you gonna do? Like, you want to play Call of Duty? You want to play Call of Duty with your friends? Well, fucking jump through these hoops. Um, but a game like Control,
Yeah.
which great game. I'm not saying it's not a good game. It's a fantastic game, but are you really big enough to be asking for this bullshit? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's
Like,
what I
like,
mean.
like,
Like, it doesn't
like,
really.
like you're like that girl who's not hot enough to be as bitchy as she is what I'm trying to say.
But Control, they came out and said, "Oh, it's not possible. It's
Yeah,
impossible for us to do." And I'm like, "No, it's not, because you accidentally did it on PS5 or PS4,
exactly,
and they tried to
exactly.
hide it."
It doesn't make any sense to me. Then you have Destiny, which is, I mean, Destiny's still a pretty big franchise, man.
Yeah.
And they're just like, okay, you know what? Here, make it easy, totally free, just no problems. You own it. Here it is on the new system. Like, there's no reason for it to be. All of them should be like that. I never thought I'd be saying this, but Destiny is the gold standard of how you should be handling this.
I don't know about that, but
Just
yeah,
making it a free upgrade, like, yeah, that should be the golden standard.
yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
own it, cool. It's free. It's a free upgrade, no hassle. um, in other news, and this one caught me off guard. That Rockstar bought out Ruffian Games, the same developer that made Crackdown 2, and they
Yeah.
rebranded them to Rockstar Dundee. Like, I never heard about this until today when I was reading the show notes. That's crazy.
I think they missed an opportunity to call them Rockadile Dundee, but
Oh,
maybe
I'm
next
like
time.
disappointed that's not a thing. Oh, god damn it. Maybe next time. But yeah, man,
um,
like, that's really cool. Like, does Ruffian Games just develop Crackdown too? They don't own the IP to Crackdown.
right, right. Microsoft, that's a
So
Microsoft IP.
yeah, so don't expect to see like Crackdown 4 produced by Rockstar. But you can probably expect another super soldier / superhero open world crime game made by Rockstar. Or at least with
Uh,
Rockstar resources.
maybe. They did. I was trying to figure out like what else they worked on, and like nothing really. They've only done Crackdown and just like some Connect games, but so I'm like why? It's weird to me because Crackdown 2 and 3 didn't really start any fires, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
A Crackdown, you could argue Crackdown 3 specifically put some fires out. Like,
yeah, yeah,
I would be surprised if Crackdown was still a thing after Crackdown 3.
yeah. Um, yeah, they said the Ruffian team are a talented addition to Rockstar's global studios, and we look forward to working together on future projects.
Which, I mean, we'll have to wait and see what they do with it. Anytime a company as big as Rockstar buys out another developer, it's always interesting to pay attention to it, 'cause it could be a good or bad thing. We could get some really cool games, or we could get some shitty games because of corporate meddling, and then the company goes away forever. Cough, cough, Guerrilla Games. Cough, cough, whoever made Dead Space. Who was that again? I forgot who made Dead Space.
Irrational?
That wasn't Irrational. Was it Irrational?
I don't
God damn
remember.
it. I gotta Google it now. Hold up. Two
Remember.
seconds.
I've actually never played Dead Space. I played like the
You
demo of the first one. Even though I have them all, I have all the games.
you should play Dead Space. It is. I didn't Visceral
Uh,
game. I did not play Dead Space till about maybe 2 years ago. I first played it on PC. Holy shit, it is phenomenal. Like, that is the like survival horror game I didn't know I wanted. I hate myself for waiting as long as I did on it. It's really good. You should play Dead Space.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I got to go back to. Um,
Do it. 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 Do it.
but yeah, so yeah, that's Ruffian Games joining
Yep.
Rockstar. I love to see what they put out next, man.
Yeah,
'Cause
dude. Same.
that's a weird one, but
We also have a fan-made sequel to Dark Souls called Dark Souls Nightfall,
yeah,
which I'm not deep in the Dark Souls lore.
neither am I.
So it's weird that Dark Souls does have a sequel, Dark Souls 2, but but apparently this is a more direct sequel to Dark Souls using the in-game lore.
Yeah,
And
it's
they
pretty.
say a lot of stuff that I don't understand. Like they talk a lot about characters and names and events I don't recognize because I don't know shit about Dark Souls. But that is very ballsy to make a sequel to a game that already has a sequel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they said it's a direct sequel to Dark Souls with expanded lore that aims not to clash with the base game. Heavily modified, faster paced combat system, which I'm for because I hate the Dark Souls games because they're so slow. It's one of the reasons why I like Bloodborne.
I
Because
like
it's
that
so
about Bloodborne
fast
too.
paced. Like it
Yeah.
rewards you for getting up in that ass. And I like that.
I like that too, but I don't like, how Bloodborne runs.
Yeah.
That game runs like dog shit on PS4. Which doesn't have to. That's a whole other can of worms I'm not going to open up right now.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. We got something for that.
Yeah. I really like this. I love that it's a faster paced combat system. It's going to include modified enemies with heavily modified animations. So they're going all out on this. They're not copying and pasting shit over. The models are the same, but they're doing a lot of retexturing and changing of existing character models and enemy models. They showed off some of the work. They experimented with some new characters, NPCs with new voice acting. Like there's a lot they're doing for this, which I love seeing stuff like this. I love seeing fans working on shit like this because they do what the fans want. They literally are the fans of the game. So it's really cool to see shit like this. I say more power to them, man. Good luck to you guys. Like, I might go back play Dark Souls 1, so I can play your fan made sequel like with context.
Yeah.
What else we got? Oh, some new trailers. Cyberpunk 2077 announced their two new trailers, Rides of the Dark Future and 2077 in Style, which shows off a couple things. Rides of the Dark Future shows off more of the vehicle customization you'll experience in Cyberpunk. Which, god damn it, man! Like I'm trying like not to spoil so much of the game for myself by watching all these trailers, but it all just looks so good, dude. Like the customization for the vehicles are insane.
Yeah.
There's so many different types of vehicles you can drive, like cars, trucks, tanks, fucking vans, semis. Like, my god, man.
Again, I'm watching this for the first time. Didn't even realize the game was like this open. This like I don't know, Grand Theft Auto-esque.
Yeah.
I don't know, everything I've seen to this point has just been like rooms and like a building or like just a section of a thing. Like I didn't think you'd be able to just drive onto like a platform with people on it and run them over. But I guess I should have expected that. But again, I've been avoiding everything about this game, so
With good reason. Like, I want to get into this game like fresh. But god, it looks so good. Their next trailer, after their Rise of Dark Future, are the 2077 in Style trailer, which shows off just that, the style of cyberpunk. What characters wear, what characters look like, what they fuck with. Like, it's crazy, dude. Like they put so much work, not just into the visual style, but like why these characters would dress that way, or the modifications they'd have based on like their class or their what groups they mess with. It's really, really cool. Like there's a lot of attention to detail here based on how characters look. And again, it goes deeper than that. The modifications they have, why they have them, like that's all really thought out, and it's really cool to see. I love it.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, dude. I love it. Yeah, me neither, but I'm into it. I'm into it. There's even like a whole like corporate fashion style that's based on like really sleek black corporate looks. Like, there's so much work that's done.
All the NPCs look different. Like,
yes,
there's not a single person that looks copy pasted from anyone else.
Not just that, but like the way they dress, you can tell like what group they're with, like based on like what they're wearing. Even though they don't dress the same, you can bet like what group they're in, what wealth class they're in, what side of town they're from based on what they're wearing, and that's really cool.
Yeah, it's like San Andreas. If they wore green, they're a Grove Street, motherfucker.
It's like that, but so much deeper. Like I love it. I love it so much. Oh God, every time I see stuff for this game, I get my erection gets harder and harder, man. We also got a new look at the new Spider-Man Miles Morales game, but they look at Spider-Cat.
He's got a cat.
Yep.
And they were wondering like, oh, what does the cat do? Well, they show you what the cat does in this.
But it's not like till the very end.
Yeah.
The cat's got a little mask, kind of hangs out on your backpack. There are some moves of the cat. It looks like there might be some moves of the cat comes out and scratches people up. But it's a cool thing, man. I mean, the internet loves cats, so good move on you guys for incorporating that into Spider-Man. We also got another trailer of their Untold Chronicles from 100 Years Past trailer series, which shows off some of the characters and factions you'd be dealing with in Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. We got a look at the Yiga clan, those ninja guys from Breath of the Wild that really like bananas for some reason.
Yeah.
We got to look at them, not just them, but their leader Koga. Which this is one thing I love about Hyrule Warriors, man. Like now that they've added voice acting to it, the character really shows up a lot more in the game. You know what I mean? Like Zelda characters have always been these like really animated, larger than life like people, but actually putting a voice to it, it's so much better. Like I love it. I love seeing that. This is another this is another game I'm really excited for. Like we're gonna see a lot of really cool shit with the new Hyrule Warriors game, and I'm excited to be seeing it. I can't wait. What about you? I know you're excited for this game.
Yeah, but I don't want to buy another Switch for it.
Just do it. Stop being a baby. Just buy it. Just buy it, and then you can buy Pokemon. We can talk shit about it together.
I did. I was able to like dump my current like Switch info. I was able to dump it and get it into like the emulator on PC. But like people were talking about how good that emulator is. It doesn't run very well for me. I don't know. Like I wasn't trying to play a demanding game. I put Cadence of Hyrule on it, and it barely works.
Maybe there's some stuff you gotta fuck around with. I don't know.
Maybe.
In less exciting news, because you all know how I feel about Assassin's Creed, we got a deep dive trailer of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which, I mean, it looks like an Assassin's Creed game, man.
Another one where people are going crazy about the cats. Apparently, there's some cat shit in this as well.
Which, like, I mean, that's cool, but I'm both like impressed and kind of I'm impressed and I like to shit talk like how far Assassin's Creed has come since the first game.
Yeah.
Like, look at this. Like, I didn't know assassins like sieged villages like this. Like these guys like knocked down like a moat and like sieged a bunch of people. Like, I didn't know that's how assassins operated.
Yeah.
But whatever. Like I know it's not. The games have changed. There's a lot of lore stuff with this game that I understand, but it's so funny to see like Assassin's Creed 1, which was like a heavy stealth game, versus this. Like this looks like a Witcher game.
They're barely actually. That's what a lot of people were saying. Was like, man, they're just copying The Witcher. But I don't know. This game looks okay. But yeah, they definitely have gotten away from the assassins part of Assassin's Creed. Like those first couple games, you could not like fight head on. Like you can kind of do one-on-one stuff, but if there were like more than like two motherfuckers fighting you, you had to run or you were getting fucked. But now it's just like I'm gonna take out everyone here, and you can just fight dudes without any consequence.
You can fucking sit here with like an axe and a shield and just fuck up motherfuckers. Like,
yeah,
which is cool, man. Like that's the game people want to play. Like that's the game people want to play. And it is cool to be seeing that happening. I'm still. Here's my problem with Assassin's Creed. They're so far into the franchise. Like, how lost am I going to be if I jump into this game?
You're not, because they've abandoned they've abandoned all previous bullshit. So
yeah, okay. The top comment is some dude who's like, "Yes, Ubisoft. Yes, this is what I wanted to see." I'm gonna add on that same thing I did last time, but whatever. Shit talking aside, like it does look like it's gonna be a good game.
They're not bad games. Like they're
not bad games. Like I've said this before on the show. Formulas work for a reason, man. And this formula definitely works.
It's just I think people are getting like tired of the same stuff. Like it's kind of like what like Telltale Games was doing was they were putting out a bunch of shit, and people just stopped fucking with it, even though they were great fucking games. People just didn't care anymore because that the charm wear off if you're just getting it over and over again.
Yeah, just one after another.
And I don't know. I think that's kind of what's happening here is that people just keep seeing it and they're like, man, another one.
The immortal words of DJ Khaled. But no, we'll have to see. This game's gonna come out. People are gonna like it. Like those Assassin's Creed fans are gonna play it. They're gonna like it. I might pick it up on sale because everyone's telling me that I don't have to play the older Assassin's Creed games to play these new ones.
Yeah,
and these new ones do look like fun. In other news, this is something I should be more excited about. Is they showed off a new trailer for the new Guilty Gear game, Guilty Gear Strive. I've never played any of the new Guilty Gear games, which is a shame because I have played Guilty Gear X. I like that a lot, and I've been told that these games are really similar to Guilty Gear X. But graphically, this one thing I love about the new Guilty Gear games is the graphics. Like, it's this good match of like 2D and 2D gameplay with 3D models. Like, it's a really
they do it the best.
Yeah, dude, I agree. And this character they're showing off, Giovanna, looks fucking interesting. It's like, it's this girl who does martial arts, but she has like this JoJo-esque wolf stand that like follows her around. That looks really cool. And the way she plays, she looks like a kind of technical Rushdown character, which is fun. I love Rushdown characters in fighting games. Those are the characters I gravitate towards the most, and that looks like how she plays. This looks so good, dude. I need to pick up a new Guilty Gear. I'm probably gonna pick this one up when it comes out. I need a new fighting game.
I'm so bad at anime fighters, dude. I can't.
Guilty Gear is a bit more toned down than most anime fighters. Like,
no,
I think
it's
not. I think so. Well, I haven't played the new one. I've only played X, and that feels super toned down to me.
I've only played the old ones, and it was like I will give it's not as bad as Blaze Blue, but like um it's still fucked.
The top comment for this trailer is Strive is now officially a good game. You can, in fact, pet the dog. I both love and hate these pet the dog memes so much. And it's something nobody saw coming. Smite is having a new character battle pass. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are coming to Smite.
Yeah. So if you play Smite,
I was not expecting this. Now these aren't like new characters. These are based on existing characters or skins for the existing characters.
yeah.
But it's still cool as shit. Like I love Ninja Turtles, so seeing this, like, ooh, I think I want to play Smite now.
Well, the thing about Smite is based on like world mythology, so it's all based on like Greek mythology and like Egyptian mythology, and so you see characters like Zeus and
Yeah.
Quetzalcoatl and like
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Yeah, like Osiris, Loki.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Which I've been told is cool. I'm not a huge fan of MOBAs. That's why I've stayed away from it. But I like me some Ninja Turtles, man. Like that might be enough to get me into it.
Smite's pretty good. If I had to play a MOBA, it'd be that one. I've actually played it for a little bit.
If I had to play a MOBA, I'd rather not play a MOBA.
Well, I played it for a little bit. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. I'll check it out. Maybe we can stream it sometime. You can show me around. I get my ass kicked.
Well, I'm not good at it either. I'm just,
We got a trailer for a new game called The Wandering Village, which I don't know what this is. It kind of reminds me of Xenoblade with this whole like life. There's this whole like city on top of like a giant Titan creature.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really show me how the game's going to play. If I had to guess, it looks like a city management game. But I'm not entirely sure like what to expect here. Or how the fact that your whole like city is built on top of like this giant dinosaur thing, how that's going to affect the game.
Yeah. I love the look of it.
I love the look of it too. It's live on Kickstarter. So that's the thing about the game. It's a Kickstarter game. You could donate to it starting October 13th. It's running till November 13th. So if this game, there's probably more stuff on their Kickstarter page. So I recommend, if you're listening and it sounds interesting to you, check it out. But it looks interesting. I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on this game. We also got a new trailer. It's a new update for Terraria called Journey's Actual End, which sounds like an actual like end game for Terraria.
Yeah, so they put out the patch. There was a patch, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, where they said this is it. This is the end of Terraria. But I guess they were like, no, son. We got one more for you. And I think there's oh damn, that's a short trailer. It's a 16-second trailer. But yeah, so I think this is the actual end of content.
I mean, we'll have to wait and see, man. Terraria's been around forever. So it's good for them for like finding an end game for it. It gives those devs a chance to work on something else.
Yeah. I think they are working on no, that's I thought they were working on that like Harry Potter like wizardry thing. But that's the Stardew Valley guys, I think.
Yeah. We also got this game I've been excited for a while. I've wanted to talk about this in the podcast for a minute. Since the day I saw this game on Reddit weeks ago. It's called Noita, Noita. And here's what's cool about this game. Every pixel in this game is interactable, and they interact with each other. So like pixels that are grass will like burn up. Every pixel can flow, crumble, shatter, burn, depending on what you're doing. It's really, really cool the way the game works. Like everything works off of each other. Elements work off each other. So imagine like Breath of the Wild. You know how if things are wet, you can't climb it. If your suit's made of metal, it attracts lightning. Imagine that, but on a much larger scale. There's a whole game built around these things
Yeah.
working off each other. And this is what you got. Like, it looks really, really cool. Like, this game's looking at this game, I know it's going to get really crazy really fast, but I'm into it.
Yeah, I really like games that have systems that work together in unpredictable ways.
Yeah.
That's kind of one of the big things where like people found out about Super Mario Maker is that okay, what happens when you like Bowser runs into when you put wings on a Bowser, what happens? And you know you do it and it just you find out and it's like, oh, I never expected that. Um, this is that like to the like millionth degree though.
Yes. Where every pixel can like interact with each other.
Yeah,
And that's really cool to see. Like you can completely if you know how these pixels work, you can completely wipe out a map and then rechange how you want. Kind of like goddamn Red Faction. How like
oh
every
yeah,
chunk of the map you can like dig tunnels and holes through. It kind of reminds me of that, but to like the umpth degree. I'm into it, dude. Like this is a game I really want to check out. And here's the next story. This is why I bit my tongue earlier when talking about Bloodborne. Someone managed to make a hack for Bloodborne on PS4, on specifically PS4 Pro, to run at 60 FPS. Now, this is a long video. It's about a 15-minute video because he did more than just flip a switch and call it a day. There's a lot of shit you had to do because the game, predictably, because I don't care what you say about From Software, their coding is garbage. So much of the game is tied to the frame rate that bumping up the frame rate from 30 to 60 completely fucked the game speed. So he had to go in and fix that along with other things that he wasn't expecting from Software's shitty coding. But at the end of the day, he managed to get it to work. He got the game to run at 60 frames per second on PS4 Pro, which pisses me off because why can't From Software do that when this guy can do it by himself?
yeah. I have no idea what tools he's using to actually do this.
Me neither.
Um, but it's fucking impressive, man.
Yeah, dude, and the game looks so much better. And it's all stable. Like I'm looking at this, I'm not seeing, at least not noticeably, like any drops here in frames.
Yeah.
Like if you get about 10 minutes into it, you can see some actual gameplay of him just like fighting some bosses, and it looks great. And this is what kept me from like finishing Bloodborne. I tried to get into it, but that game runs not just like at a 30, but like an unstable 30.
Yeah.
It dips into like single digits sometimes, and I couldn't. It was making me sick, dude. I got sick of playing it. But if this game had released with this 60 FPS patch day one, I would have been into it, dude. At least on the PS4 Pro. And this is it. It's running on native hardware. Like, he didn't fuck with anything else in the PS4 Pro system itself. This is running on native PS4 Pro hardware. And it pisses me off that, like, From Software can't do it. God, I'm mad. I'm really mad.
Yeah, man, like this would be like a selling factor or a deciding factor on whether they're gonna buy a PS5 or shit like that. And it's just crazy. I mean, like Demon Souls remaster is big, but a lot of people just want to play Bloodborne in a good way. And yeah, if this guy shows that it can be done, it's just on Sony or From Software to do it.
Yeah. The guy who did this, his name's Lance McDonald. He admitted in the comments that he is planning on releasing the patch publicly, but after the PS5 has released, because he
Yeah.
wants to give Sony. Sony hasn't been exactly clear on whether Bloodborne is going to be enhanced on PS4 on PS5. So he wants to give them a chance to like try to put 60 FPS out on it and enhance the game first.
But that's my question is how do you get this without like modding your PS4? Like I don't understand how you get this.
I don't understand either, and I know, like, whatever method we're gonna be doing to get this on my system, I'm gonna have to I'm gonna fucking get banned from PSN if I try to do this. I'm gonna void my warranty, get banned from PSN, all that shit. God, dude, the more I watch this, the cooler it looks.
Yeah, it's making me want to play Bloodborne again.
It makes me want to play Bloodborne too, and then I'm gonna boot it up and be like, oh, I'm gonna get sad again. God damn, this is so good. From Software, fucking get on it, dude. Come on, get your shit together. In releases, it's a pretty light week, but we got a couple games coming out, man. We have Amnesia Rebirth is coming out October 20th, which we talked about this before, is not a remake of Amnesia.
Yeah.
Amnesia Rebirth is a totally new game in the Amnesia universe, in the Amnesia mythos. It looks interesting. I've never played Amnesia before, but I know what the games are about, man, like everyone does. But Amnesia Rebirth, it looks like it's supposed to be more of a return to form to what the older Amnesia games did. Is what they're promising. A lot of fans didn't like A Machine for Pigs, which I don't understand why it looked like Amnesia 1 to me, but I'm sure there are some people in the podcast who are like, how dare you say that? This is why it's so much worse. You should kill yourself for not knowing this obscure fact.
Yeah, I've never played Amnesia, even though there's not another series where I have every game but never played it.
Yeah, I own the first one. I don't know why I haven't played it, but
yeah. But yeah, they say that this is the horror game for, or I guess the series for horror. So
yeah, it looks interesting. I mean, if you're an Amnesia fan, you probably already pre-ordered it. But this looks interesting, man. Like it graphically speaking, it looks a lot better than the older Amnesia games, which I hope it does. It's coming out so much later. But yeah, that's Amnesia Rebirth. It's coming out October 20th. I don't think we're gonna play the game, but we'll definitely talk about it once it comes out. I want to see what the reviews have to say about it on the next podcast.
yeah.
What else we got? That's all that's coming out the 20th. On the 21st, we have Rogue coming out on PC, which I've never heard of this game.
Yes, you have. If you heard of roguelike, this is that.
Oh, this is the Rogue that the term roguelike came from.
Yeah. So
it doesn't look good.
Well, that's the thing, is this game is like old as fuck. So it uses like ASCII, like all the graphics were like ASCII. And yeah, that's what you had. That's what Rogue was. So there were a bunch of different iterations of this that eventually like translated every one of those ASCII graphics into like a real graphic. So like the @ symbol would be like a graphic that was like your character, or like if there was like rough terrain or like a fire, they would like everything had its own character.
Yeah.
So it could be translated into an actual graphic, and that's what it eventually turned into.
This is interesting. Like it's good to keep this for preservation's sake. I'm not gonna shit on it for that.
Yeah.
It's good to keep this in its entirely strictly for preservation. So you know where the term roguelike comes from. Like this is the rogue that roguelike comes from.
Yeah.
But if you're releasing it in the year of our Lord 2020, maybe offer an updated version too.
I'm not sure. So it's coming to Steam. It actually has a Steam page, and I'm not sure. What we're seeing right now is like the original.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is what's coming to Steam.
Oh, let's pull it up. Does it have its page on Steam yet?
It does.
There it is.
Yeah, the one on Steam's like kind of that, but it does have like graphics. Well, it has color, but it's still that kind of. Yeah.
Which is fine, but offer different graphical. One thing I love about Cave Story is a great example. that game has a ton of different graphical options, music options. Like, do something like that, man. Like, if this game's like so important to gaming history, like, offer some options to play it.
Yeah.
It looks interesting. I'm not gonna pick it up. You know, I'm not gonna play this game.
There might be options in this. Like, I'm not totally sure. But
Hopefully,
I
did
would
you know if it'll have
expect.
Steam Workshop support?
Doesn't
That
say
might
so.
that would be cool. I'd love to see what the Steam Workshop has to do once they get their hands on it, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it looks interesting. That's coming out the 21st. You know, if you're feeling not nostalgic, I doubt any of us, any you or I or any of our listeners have played this game in its heyday. But you know, if you want to see where where these games come from, you know, the original inspiration for the term roguelike, here it is, October 21st. Go check it out. We also have coming October 22nd a game called Bless Unleashed.
Yeah. So okay. So this game. This is an interesting one because this is the, I believe, third iteration of Bless. I think it's a Korean MMO.
I've never heard of this game before in my
It's
life.
been out since, I don't know. It's been out for like 15 years, I guess. Um, no, there's a reason you've never heard of it because it launched on PC twice and they shut it down twice.
Why?
Because fucking people hated it. Um, so then they tried to just completely scratch what people knew about it. So it's not on PC anymore because us PC players know about this already. So they put it on Xbox where people don't know about it. And I guess it's doing well there. And now they're putting it on PS4.
It's giving me like mad Black Desert Online vibes, but not
Yeah.
looking at
Yeah.
which Black Desert Online, despite like some of the really annoying mechanics, gameplay wise was a pretty fun game.
Yeah.
The mechanics, everything around that though was kind of annoying.
Well, I think it's the point is like they wanted to focus on like more like a realistic thing. Like there's no fast travel, you have to walk everywhere.
It's annoying as shit.
But the game mechanics are like based on that. So like you can set up trade routes. So it's like it's very lucrative to just like set up a wagon and just trade things back and forth to the various cities and stuff like that. Um, I think it's a cool direction to go in, but some people really don't like that.
We played this a little bit way back when, the old school Gameoverse days,
Yeah,
before the game got this remaster. And I remember we liked it, but it wasn't enough there to like keep us playing.
yeah,
I have that problem with most MMOs. I'm just not an MMO fan.
yeah. And okay, so Bless is more traditional MMO. I don't exactly know what people hated about this. I never actually got to try it when it was out on PC, but I just know that it was on PC twice, and they shut it down twice. I think this old Steam page is still up actually, and you can see I think it's still overwhelmingly negative.
I mean, we'll have to wait and see when it comes out.
Yeah,
Maybe it'll be awesome. Maybe it'll be shit. We'll see.
it's out. It's out. It's been out actually. That's what I'm saying. It's been out.
Oh, it's been out.
Just not on PC where people know how shitty it is.
Yeah.
They removed it from PC because people fucking hated it.
Oh, well, you're saying it's out on Xbox. It's just coming out on PS4 now.
Yeah, it came out on Xbox because people don't know about it. So if you want to know about the game, there's tons of information out there. I don't know if people like it now. But yeah, I just know people fucking hated it on PC. And then they were like, okay, you guys don't get it. We're going to put it over here where people don't know how shitty it is. And I don't know. I guess it's doing well.
Hopefully they fixed enough of it that it's worth playing, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Another game, and I was actually checking out this one a little while ago. Discworld or Disc Room. Have you seen this game before?
No.
Play that trailer really quick, dude. So it looks like a roguelike, kind of like Binding of Isaac, but the gimmick is that there's these bouncing saw blades everywhere you have to dodge. But there's all these abilities you can do to unlock to make it easier. Like there's an ability you can clone yourself. So if a clone dies, you have something to fall back on. There's also every room has a different mission. Sometimes you just get to the other side. You don't have to solve a puzzle while you're in it. It looks really cool. Like this actually looks like a lot of fun.
Wow.
Right?
It looks pretty cool.
Right? It looks
you
like
get like
a lot
one
of
hit
fun.
too.
Yeah. It looks like a lot of fun. I think this is definitely a kind of game I would get into. Like I would spend all night just playing it over and over again, unlocking new abilities, trying to get farther.
Real unique concept. I like that.
Yeah, like I'm into this. I'm probably gonna be picking this one up when it comes out. It's coming out October 22nd on Nintendo Switch. Kind of weird it's coming out on the Switch. Is it already out for other systems?
We heard of it. It's coming on
It's
PC
coming out
too.
October 23rd. Yeah, October 23rd in Steam. There is a demo that's up for it now, though, so that might be worth checking out.
Yeah, cool stuff.
Yeah, dude, I'm into this. There's also another game coming out called If Found.
This game's been out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just finally coming to Switch. But yeah, this one has been out. Don't know anything about it.
It looks like a point-and-click adventure game.
Yeah. You know, the problem with a lot of these games is that they don't get a lot of promotion. So, like, a lot of them has been out already or they're, like, just now coming out. But whoever's publishing them are just not pushing them at all.
Yeah, I'm on the Steam page right now for If Found. It looks like it came out back in May of this year. It only has, like, 210 reviews. Actually, no, 200 reviews. That's all it has. It's been out since like May. A lot of people are giving it good reviews, man. It looks like it's getting pretty positive reviews. I like the art style to it. It's a really like surreal art style. The music's really calming. The description in the Steam page says, "If Found is a game about going home, coming out, and erasing everything." And it looks interesting. I like the story it's trying to tell. It's trying to tell it in a very surreal, interesting way. I'd play this. I
That's
think
all
I would
right.
play this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would play this. I would definitely play this. So look forward to that coming out on Switch October 22nd. We also have the Red Lantern, a dog sledding roguelite coming out also October 22nd for Nintendo Switch. This is a very interesting game. It's a first-person dog sledding game where it's a game about sledding dogs in snowy Alaska, and it's a roguelite, so it's randomly generated every time. You need to manage the dogs, manage your resources, also make certain choices depending on the environment. Your dogs each have their own health, stamina, and bladder system you got to keep track of.
Unique.
It's really cool. Yeah, it's very unique. Very unique. Like I really like what this game's doing. It's a good twist on not just the roguelite formula, but also it looks like the survival game formula has a very neat twist on that too, by having you worry about your dogs.
Weird.
I'm into it.
Switch.
Yeah.
Switch is getting some cool stuff.
Yeah, dude. It's also coming out on PC.
Yeah.
Which I found out about, but it's PC and Switch only so far. I'm not seeing any news about PS4 and Xbox yet. So good on you, Nintendo, locking down those indies. Those are the ones making the interesting games. Like this looks really cool. I'm into this.
Yeah.
I am definitely going to be following this game pretty closely. We also got a announcement trailer for Torchlight 3 is officially coming out on Switch, October 22nd. I own Torchlight 2. I played it a bit. It's not bad. It's basically Diablo Light. It doesn't quite scratch that itch Diablo does, but it looks like Torchlight 3 is trying to do that. It looks like it's bigger, better, faster, more epic than Torchlight 2 was.
I know people aren't too hot on this one, but I don't know why exactly.
Yeah, like it looks like Torchlight 2, but faster and better and bigger.
Yeah.
So I'm into it. I'm probably not going to get it day one. That'll probably be when I play way down the line. Once the game's on sale and everyone's bored of it, then I'll hop into it. But there you go, man. Torchlight 3 is coming out on Switch October 22nd. Last game, we got Transformers Battlegrounds coming out October 23rd for PC, Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. I didn't know this game was coming out. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, neither did I.
It's an XCOM style strategy game with Transformers, which sounds awesome and awful at the same time.
I'm out.
You're out. You don't like XCOM?
I do, but not like that though. I don't know.
What I want to see is Platinum work on another Transformers game.
Yeah.
Because that game, dude, like if they work on another Transformers game with a bigger budget and less time constraints, they can make something fucking epic.
Man, do people really fuck with Transformers like that nowadays?
I guess, dude. They're still making them.
I don't recognize any of these. What was this called? Battle. What is this based on?
I don't know, man. It doesn't say. I don't think it's based on anything specific. It might just be like its own standalone Transformers.
Like a pink girl Transformer.
I don't know who that is. I'm not really too deep on the Transformers lore.
No.
I mean, I'm not into it.
I've played enough
XCOM style games.
That's your type of shit. I'm not a fan of strategy games, man. Like XCOM's okay, but like I enjoyed it, but not like I like Valkyria. If I'm gonna play one of these games, I want like Valkyria style where I'm taking the shots.
Yeah,
there's not this like percentage where like I have a 97% chance to hit. Oh, I fucking missed. Like that kind of shit pisses me off.
I kind of like. I've been watching a lot of gameplay videos on Baldur's Gate 3. And I kind of like how they're handling it, where it's based on Dungeons and Dragons rules. So as long as you're rolling high enough, you can do it. And you can modify your dice rolls with like your own character stats.
I don't want dice rolls. I want to be the one taking the shot because I trust my skills rather than a fucking.
Well, here's the thing. What I like about it, you can up your dice rolls enough to get like a plus like 10 modifier, and you need to have beat at least like a 15 to hit somebody, and you roll a d20 to make that. Like you got a good chance of making that shot. Like that's what I mean. Like I don't mind a percentage, but as long as there's a way to modify it by upgrading my own stats to up that percentage for me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't mind that so much. But I hear what you mean. Like you want a more skill-based game, and that makes sense too. This game doesn't look too interesting, man. Like it looks like XCOM with Transformers, which could be awesome or awful depending on like how you feel about XCOM and Transformers.
I mean that Mario Rabbids game was pretty much that, but they pulled it off.
I thought Mario Rabbids was great though. Like they had enough like weird Mario shit to make it really, really cool.
Yeah.
That was another game I wish I'd finished. I like that one a lot. I might go back and play it. Oh man, I think that's it for the week, dude. Short week.
That's gonna do it.
That was great. Thank you for having me again.
As always, we do this every week, Saturdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. Right? That's the time, right? Yeah, that is the time. So,
Yep.
Gameoverse.com. Again, I've been working on that site. I got everything set up, dude. Everything is set up. You can go to there's a podcast section where you can just click like the Spotify link. You can click whatever podcast platform you like using. You can use it. It's there on the site. There's a email button. You can send us emails. Gameoverse.com/podcast. Gameoverse.com/YouTube. Gameoverse.com/Twitch. Gameoverse.com/Discord. Everything's there.
Yeah, man, come meet us on the Discord. We like to talk about games, joke around, have fun. I think we have fun, man. Like, if you're a new listener, come by and join us on the Discord. We'd love to have you.
Yeah, join us, man. Participate. We do this live. Talk to us in the chat. We will talk shit about you live in front of everyone. Clown you on air. We do not care. Or, if you don't say something stupid, we'll talk about that too. But we like to have fun, so we like to talk about video games. So, yeah, that's it. That's going to do it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.